What if I told you that a 92-year-old woman gained 3 pounds of pure muscle in 8 weeks? Not maintained, not avoided losing, gained. And here's the kicker. She did it without eating a single egg. I'm Dr. Evelyn Brooks, and that woman is one of my patients. When we first ran her tests, her results stunned me. Her muscle protein synthesis rates matched those of someone 30 years younger. According to conventional medical wisdom, that's not supposed to happen at her age. So, what was her secret? It wasn't simply eating more protein. It was about choosing the right proteins with hidden properties that eggs don't offer. For decades, eggs have been praised as the gold standard. Complete protein, high bioavailability, all essential amino acids, and they are suitable for most people. But as you pass 60, your body faces a different battle. As you watch this, your muscles are in a constant tug of war. They're either being built up or broken down every second. Once you reach your 30s, the breakdown starts to pull ahead slowly. By your 60s, that process speeds up. By your 90s, most people have lost nearly half their muscle mass. And here's the cruel twist. The older you get, the more protein you need, but the less efficiently your body uses it. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. Think of it like fueling a car with a tired engine. You have to put in more fuel to get the same performance, and some fuels burn better than others. Your grandfather's diet might have worked for him at 40, but for you at 70, the rules have changed. Here's the encouraging part. Specific proteins can bypass this resistance. They contain compounds that flip biochemical switches in your muscle cells, waking them up in ways eggs can't. Some even increase muscle protein synthesis by 50% more than eggs in people over 70. If you're 50, 60, 80, or even 90, understanding these specific proteins could add not just years to your life, but life to your years. And just like my patient, you might discover that it's never too late to grow stronger. Your muscles are constantly in motion, even when you're not moving. On a microscopic level, they're in a never-ending cycle of building new fibers and breaking down old ones. When you're young, the balance tilts in your favor. Your body easily repairs and replaces what you lose. But starting around age 30, that balance shifts. By the time you're in your 60s, the breakdown side of the scale grows heavier, and without intervention, it keeps tilting further. This is where anabolic resistance comes into play. It's the scientific term for your muscles becoming less responsive to the signals that tell them to grow. In younger adults, a modest amount of protein triggers muscle building. You can eat the same amount in older adults, but your muscles might respond only half as well. It's like knocking on a door that used to open instantly, but now needs a louder, longer knock to get the same reaction. Why does this happen? Partly because of hormonal changes. Testosterone, growth hormone, and estrogen levels all decline with age. Another reason is reduced blood flow to muscles, meaning fewer nutrients get delivered where needed. On top of that, low-grade inflammation, common in older adults, interferes with the chemical signals that trigger protein synthesis. So, how do you fight back? The solution isn't just more protein, it's better timed and better quality protein. Research from the Mayo Clinic and McMaster University shows that older adults need about 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily, significantly more than the general adult recommendation of 0.8 gkg. And importantly, each meal should hit a leucine threshold of about 3 grams, because leucine is the amino acid that flips your body's build muscle now switch. The good news? Specific proteins can bypass much of this anabolic resistance, delivering amino acids to your bloodstream faster and in higher concentrations. They're like VIP passes straight to your muscle cells. My 92-year-old patient didn't just eat more. She learned how to use these fast-track proteins to her advantage at the correct times of day. And that's the difference between slowly declining and actively building strength well into your 90s. For decades, eggs have been called the perfect protein. And in many ways, that reputation is deserved. One large egg contains about 6 grams of high-quality protein, all 9 essential amino acids, and an impressive bioavailability score, meaning your body can absorb and use it efficiently. They're also affordable, easy to prepare, and nutrient-rich with choline, selenium, and vitamin B12. Your grandmother wasn't wrong when she told you to start the day with an egg. But here's what she didn't know, and what science has revealed in recent years. Complete protein isn't enough as you age. Your muscles need protein sources that do more than just supply building blocks. They need help overcoming inflammation, supporting hormone function, and boosting insulin sensitivity. In these areas, eggs fall short for seniors. First, omega-3s. Most eggs contain only trace amounts unless they're specifically enriched. Omega-3 fatty acids are crucial for reducing muscle inflammation, a silent enemy that slows recovery and accelerates muscle loss. Without enough omega-3s, your muscles stay in a low-level inflammatory state, making it harder to grow or maintain what you have. Second, vitamin D. Around 80% of adults over 65 are deficient, and eggs simply don't provide enough to make a significant difference. Vitamin D plays a direct role in muscle contraction and protein synthesis. Even the best protein source can't reach its full muscle-building potential without adequate levels. Third, leucine content. While eggs contain leucine, each provides about 1.3 grams, less than half the 3-gram threshold needed to stimulate muscle growth in older adults fully. To hit that target with eggs alone, you'd have to eat at least 5 in one sitting, which is unrealistic for most people. Think of it this way. If building muscle after 70 is like trying to start an old, stubborn lawnmower, eggs give you a decent pull on the cord. But some other protein sources, the ones we'll discuss next, act like an electric starter. They deliver more leucine per serving, work faster, and come packaged with nutrients that address the unique challenges of aging muscles. Meet whey protein, the muscle-building powerhouse helping 90-year-olds gain strength faster than 60-year-olds relying on eggs. Whey is derived from milk during the cheese-making process, and what sets it apart is its speed. Within 60 minutes of drinking a whey shake, amino acids flood your bloodstream, triggering muscle protein synthesis at the right moment for aging muscles. Compare that to eggs, which can take 3 to 4 hours to digest and absorb. By then, your anabolic window may have already closed. But speed isn't the only advantage. Whey is naturally rich in leucine, providing around 2.5 grams per serving. For adults over 70, you can reach the critical 3-gram leucine threshold with just 1.5 scoops, instead of eating 5 eggs. That matters because leucine isn't just an amino acid. It's the on switch that tells your body to build muscle now. Without enough protein, it can be used for energy instead of muscle repair. Whey also contains more branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, than eggs. These 3 work like a coordinated rescue team. Leucine signals growth, isoleucine helps muscles take in glucose for energy, and valine protects against muscle breakdown during exercise. This combination is especially valuable in older adults because recovery time tends to be longer. Another secret weapon in whey is immunoglobulins, antibodies that support gut health and reduce inflammation. This is critical because chronic gut inflammation can impair protein absorption. Studies show regular whey use can improve your body's ability to use all protein sources by about 15%. If you're lactose sensitive, whey protein isolate is your best option, as it contains less lactose than whey concentrate. Whey concentrate may offer extra benefits if you tolerate dairy, thanks to its slightly higher immunoglobulin content. Always mix with cold liquid to preserve its delicate protein structure, and aim to consume it within 30 minutes of preparation to avoid oxidation. For my 92-year-old patient, the day starts with a whey smoothie, not just for convenience, but because it delivers rapid, high-quality protein when her muscles are most receptive. And what she adds to it makes it even more powerful. But we'll get to that momentarily. If whey protein is the sprinter of muscle nutrition, cottage cheese is the marathon runner. Its power comes from casein protein, which digests slowly and steadily, releasing amino acids into your bloodstream for up to 8 hours. This makes it a perfect choice before bed, when your body faces one of its most overlooked challenges: overnight catabolism, the process where your muscles break down to provide energy while you sleep. In older adults, this muscle loss can be significant. But when you eat cottage cheese before bed, that slow trickle of casein protein acts like a drip feed of building blocks, keeping your muscles in repair mode all night. Dutch researchers even found that seniors who consumed cottage cheese before bed experienced measurable increases in muscle protein synthesis while sleeping. The benefits don't stop at protein. Cottage cheese is a nutrient-dense package that checks multiple boxes for muscle health. Selenium. 1 cup provides enough to correct deficiencies that affect 60% of adults over 70. Selenium plays a direct role in muscle strength and antioxidant defense. Calcium. About 14% of daily needs per cup, which supports bones and fuels the contractions that make muscles work. Without enough calcium, your muscles can't contract efficiently, no matter how big. Vitamin B12. Nearly 40% of older adults are deficient, and B12 is essential for turning dietary protein into muscle tissue. Phosphorus. Essential for ATP production, your cell's energy currency, critical for muscle power and endurance. The texture is also ideal for older adults. No chewing is required, and it is easy to digest even with lower stomach acid levels. For those worried about sodium, rinsing cottage cheese in a fine mesh strainer can cut sodium content by up to 40% without losing much protein. For an extra boost, mix cottage cheese with ground flax seeds for omega-3s, crushed walnuts for arginine, and a sprinkle of cinnamon or vanilla extract for flavor. My patients who make this a nightly ritual often report feeling less stiff and more energized, a sign that their muscles stayed nourished and repaired all night. If cottage cheese protects your muscles overnight, salmon works like a repair crew during the day. And it doesn't just rebuild, it renovates. While the 22 grams of high-quality protein in a serving of wild salmon certainly help, the real magic lies in its omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These fats are muscle-friendly in ways eggs can't match. Chronic inflammation is one of the biggest drivers of muscle loss as we age. It's like rust slowly eating away at your car's engine, silent but destructive. Omega-3s act like WD-40 for your muscles, reducing inflammatory markers such as TNF-alpha and IL-6, directly interfering with protein synthesis. Research from the University of Washington showed that older adults who consumed omega-3s, equivalent to eating salmon 3 times a week, gained 6% more muscle mass without changing their exercise routine. Even more impressive, their muscles became more sensitive to all protein sources, reversing part of the anabolic resistance that holds so many seniors back. Salmon is also one of the richest natural sources of vitamin D, providing up to 1,000 IU per serving. Vitamin D doesn't just help bones. It binds to receptors on muscle cells, directly activating muscle growth pathways. Correcting a deficiency can increase muscle strength by up to 20% in older adults. Then there's astaxanthin, the antioxidant pigment that gives salmon its pink color. Astaxanthin protects your mitochondria, the power plants in your muscle cells, from oxidative damage. As we age, mitochondria break down, leading to weakness and fatigue. Astaxanthin keeps them running efficiently, improving endurance by as much as 40% in older adults. Don't overlook salmon's creatine content either. While it's not as high as red meat, the roughly 1 gram per serving can still support strength gains, especially when combined with resistance training. For the best results, choose wild-caught Alaskan salmon over farmed. Farmed varieties have half the omega-3s, almost no vitamin D, and artificial colorants instead of natural astaxanthin. Baking or poaching preserves the delicate omega-3s better than frying or grilling, and adding a squeeze of lemon juice protects the fats from oxidation while boosting iron absorption. For those on a budget, canned wild salmon offers nearly the same benefits, plus edible bones for extra calcium, making it a surprisingly affordable muscle food for seniors. If salmon is your heavy-hitting animal protein, hemp seeds are the plant-based powerhouse that most people overlook. 3 tablespoons, all it takes, deliver about 10 grams of complete protein, with an amino acid profile remarkably close to human blood plasma. That means your body recognizes and uses it with minimal digestive effort, a huge advantage for older adults with reduced stomach acid or compromised digestion. The primary protein in hemp seeds, eristan, is easily absorbed. But what truly sets hemp apart is its perfect omega-6 to omega-3 ratio of roughly 3.1. Most Western diets lean heavily toward omega-6 fats, which in excess can promote inflammation. Hemp's balanced profile helps reduce inflammation while providing the raw materials your muscles need to repair and grow. Gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, a rare type of omega-6 found in hemp that converts to DGLA in the body, a compound with potent anti-inflammatory effects, particularly in muscle tissue. Studies show GLA supplementation can reduce post-exercise muscle soreness by up to 40% and shorten recovery time in older adults. Another standout nutrient is arginine, which hemp seeds provide in abundance. Arginine relaxes and dilates blood vessels, improving circulation and nutrient delivery to muscles, critical as circulation naturally declines with age. It also stimulates growth hormone release, which drops by about 50% between ages 40 and 70. Higher growth hormone levels mean faster muscle repair and better overall strength gains. Hemp seeds are also a magnesium powerhouse, offering around 50% of your daily needs in just 3 tablespoons. Magnesium plays a direct role in muscle contraction, relaxation, and recovery, and it helps convert vitamin D into its active form, making it the perfect partner to omega-3 rich foods like salmon. And let's not forget the minerals trio: iron, zinc, and phosphorus. Together, they support oxygen transport, protein synthesis, and energy production. Pair hemp seeds with vitamin C-rich foods, like berries or citrus, to boost the absorption of their plant-based iron. Practical tip: hemp seeds require 0 cooking and no refrigeration if stored properly. Sprinkle them over yogurt, salads, oatmeal, or blend them into smoothies. If you're new to them, start with 1 tablespoon and work up to 3 over a week to give your digestive system time to adjust to the extra fiber and healthy fats. If hemp seeds are the quiet achiever of plant proteins, Greek yogurt is the multitasking all-star, delivering protein, probiotics, and key micronutrients in one creamy package. 1 cup can provide up to 25 grams of protein, but it's not just the quantity that makes it powerful. It's how that protein interacts with your gut, hormones, and muscles. Greek yogurt is made by straining regular yogurt to remove excess whey, creating a thicker, more protein-dense food. It contains whey, fast-digesting, and casein, slow-digesting proteins in a natural 20-80 ratio, giving you the immediate amino acid spike your muscles need after a meal, plus a steady supply to keep them in repair mode for hours. However, the most overlooked benefit is its probiotic content. Strains like Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus improve digestion and enhance muscle protein synthesis by reducing systemic inflammation and producing bioactive peptides. These peptides have been shown to increase muscle building activity by up to 20%, even independent of the yogurt's protein content. This is part of the gut-muscle axis, the emerging science showing that the health of your gut microbiome can directly impact your muscle health. Poor gut bacteria produce inflammatory compounds that accelerate muscle breakdown. Probiotics crowd out these harmful bacteria, create short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, and improve nutrient absorption, ensuring more of the protein you eat reaches your muscles. Greek yogurt is also a top dietary source of vitamin K2 in certain full-fat varieties, which directs calcium to your bones and muscles instead of your arteries. Higher K2 levels have been linked to better muscle mass and function in older adults. Add in its generous supply of B vitamins, including B12, riboflavin, and pantothenic acid, and you have a food that supports energy production at the cellular level. Choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt with live active cultures for best results. Full-fat versions taste better, but the fat helps absorb fat-soluble vitamins A, D, and K. If lactose sensitive, you may still tolerate Greek yogurt well because much of the lactose is removed during straining. Enhance it further by adding ground flax seeds for omega-3s, walnuts for arginine, and berries for antioxidants. A teaspoon of raw honey can act as a natural prebiotic, feeding those beneficial bacteria, and turning your yogurt into a muscle-building dessert that tastes indulgent but works like a supplement. If Greek yogurt offers a luxurious probiotic-packed protein, lentils prove that muscle-building nutrition doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. One cooked cup provides about 18 grams of protein for roughly 50 cents, making them one of the most affordable, nutrient-dense foods for seniors focused on strength and mobility. Lentils are especially rich in lysine, an amino acid many plant proteins lack. Lysine plays a vital role in collagen production, essential for joints and tendons, and helps your body absorb calcium, making it a double win for muscle and bone health. When combined with grains like rice or quinoa, lentils form a complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids in optimal ratios. But the benefits go beyond protein. Lentils are packed with fiber, 16 grams per cup, which feeds beneficial gut bacteria. This is part of the gut-muscle axis. Healthy gut bacteria produce compounds like butyrate that reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity, making it easier for your muscles to absorb and use amino acids. Lentils also contain resistant starch, which stabilizes blood sugar and increases the thermic effect of protein digestion, meaning you burn more calories processing them. Micronutrient-wise, lentils deliver an impressive package. Folate, 90% of your daily needs in one cup. Folate deficiency directly slows protein synthesis at the DNA level, making it harder to repair muscle tissue. Iron, 37% of daily needs, essential for producing myoglobin, the protein that stores oxygen in muscle cells for sustained activity. Pair lentils with vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes or bell peppers to boost iron absorption by up to 300%. Potassium, more than a banana, helping regulate fluid balance, nerve signals, and muscle contractions. Polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that lower inflammatory markers like CRP and IL-6, protecting muscles from age-related breakdown. From a practical standpoint, lentils are incredibly versatile. Red lentils cook in about 10 minutes and are perfect for soups or purees. Green and brown lentils hold their shape for salads and grain bowls. Black beluga lentils pack the highest antioxidant punch. Sprouting lentils before cooking boosts their protein content and improves digestibility, ideal for seniors with sensitive digestion. Whether you serve them warm in a stew or cold in a salad, lentils offer a cost-effective anti-inflammatory protein source supporting muscle strength and longevity. If lentils are the budget-friendly protein hero, quinoa is the elegant all-rounder, a grain that behaves like a complete protein source. Unlike most plant-based staples, quinoa naturally contains all 9 essential amino acids in proportions similar to milk protein, making it an excellent choice for older adults aiming to preserve and build muscle. One cooked cup delivers around 8 grams of protein, but quinoa's real strength lies in its micronutrient density. It's loaded with magnesium, about 30% of daily needs, which directly affects ATP production, the energy currency your muscles use to contract. Without enough magnesium, muscles can't function efficiently, no matter how much protein you consume. Quinoa also supplies manganese, a mineral that activates superoxide dismutase, SOD, one of your body's most potent antioxidant enzymes. SOD reduces oxidative stress in muscle tissue after exercise, lowering the risk of inflammation-related damage. Older adults with higher manganese intake show significantly less post-activity muscle soreness and quicker recovery. Then there are its flavonoids, like quercetin and camphorol, which have potent anti-inflammatory effects and may stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis, helping your body make more energy-producing units in your muscle cells. This supports endurance and daily functional strength. From a blood sugar perspective, quinoa has a low glycemic index, about 53, meaning it provides steady energy without the spikes and crashes that can trigger cortisol release, a hormone that, when elevated chronically, promotes muscle breakdown. Quinoa is also rich in B vitamins, particularly B6 and thiamine, which are crucial for protein metabolism and muscle glycogen storage. And since it's naturally gluten-free, it's an excellent option for those with gluten sensitivity, which can otherwise cause chronic gut inflammation and indirectly harm muscle health. To maximize its benefits, cook quinoa in bone broth instead of water, adding extra protein and collagen for joint health. During cooking, a pinch of turmeric and black pepper can boost anti-inflammatory effects, while adding chopped vegetables or legumes turns it into a complete, fiber-rich meal. Whether you enjoy it warm as a side dish, cold in a salad, or even as a breakfast porridge topped with berries and hemp seeds, quinoa offers a steady foundation for building muscle and supporting overall vitality, without the digestive heaviness of many animal proteins. Individually, these foods are powerful, but when combined strategically, their effects don't just add up, they multiply. This is where my 92-year-old patient's Synergy meal plan made all the difference. She didn't rely on one protein source. She used a rotation that kept her muscles nourished around the clock, while pairing each protein with complementary nutrients that boosted absorption and effectiveness. Morning, she started the day with a whey protein smoothie blended with berries, 1 tablespoon of hemp seeds, and a 1/4 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. The whey provided a rapid leucine hit to trigger muscle building. Hemp seeds added anti-inflammatory omega-3s, and cinnamon improved insulin sensitivity by up to 20%, ensuring more amino acids entered muscle cells instead of being stored as fat. Drinking this within 30 minutes after her light morning stretches capitalized on increased blood flow to the muscles, what I call the absorption highway. Mid-morning snack. Plain Greek yogurt with ground flaxseed and a few walnuts. This delivered a combination of fast and slow proteins, probiotics to reduce gut inflammation, omega-3s for joint health, and arginine for improved blood flow. A teaspoon of raw honey added prebiotics to feed the yogurt's beneficial bacteria, enhancing nutrient uptake. Lunch. A lentil quinoa bowl with sautéed vegetables and a drizzle of tahini. Cooking the lentils and quinoa together in bone broth gave the dish a richer amino acid profile, while turmeric and black pepper amplified anti-inflammatory effects. She occasionally topped the bowl with a soft-boiled egg for variety, not as the primary protein source, but as an enhancer to complete the amino acid spectrum. Afternoon snack: cottage cheese with crushed walnuts and a square of 85% dark chocolate. The casein in cottage cheese prevented late-day muscle breakdown, while dark chocolate's epicatechins improved muscle blood flow and reduced exercise fatigue. Dinner: wild salmon with roasted Brussels sprouts and sweet potato. Omega-3s from the salmon improved protein sensitivity in every other meal that day, while the vegetables provided antioxidants to protect muscle tissue from oxidative stress. Before bed: cottage cheese mixed with almond butter and a dash of vanilla. The slow-digesting protein and magnesium-rich almond butter supported muscle recovery throughout the night. By timing her meals and choosing these protein-nutrient combinations, she created a muscle-building environment 24/7, critical for older adults who can't afford to waste recovery time. Over the years, I've identified 10 non-negotiable rules that separate older adults who steadily build muscle from those who keep losing it, despite their best efforts. These aren't nice-to-haves. They're essential to stay strong, independent, and resilient after 60. Rule 1: never go more than 4 waking hours without protein. Aging muscles can't store amino acids like younger ones. A steady supply prevents breakdown. Rule 2: pair every protein with anti-inflammatory foods. Chronic inflammation can block up to 50% of muscle protein synthesis in older adults. Add omega-3s, antioxidants, or fermented foods to each protein meal. Rule 3: hit 3 grams of leucine per meal. This is the trigger dose after 70 to flip your build muscle switch. Track leucine content, not just total protein. Rule 4: eat your biggest protein meal right after physical activity. Whether it's a workout, gardening, or stair climbing, your muscles are most receptive for 2 hours afterward. Rule 5: include fermented proteins daily. Yogurt, kefir, miso, and tempeh reduce gut inflammation and improve protein absorption. Rule 6: don't restrict calories while trying to build muscle. Undereating accelerates muscle loss. Focus on nutrient-dense calories, especially protein and healthy fats. Rule 7: hydrate aggressively. Protein metabolism needs water. Dehydration can slash your strength by 20%. Aim for half your body weight in ounces daily. Rule 8: time your nutrients around sleep. Fast digesting protein in the morning, slow digesting before bed to fuel overnight repair. Rule 9: correct nutrient deficiencies first. Low vitamin D, B12, magnesium, or iron can block muscle growth no matter how much protein you eat. Get tested and address gaps. Rule 10: move daily. Even short bouts of resistance training or band exercises can boost protein synthesis by 50% for the next 48 hours. These rules work because they're built on the biology of aging muscle, not on outdated general nutrition advice. My patients who follow them not only maintain muscle, they often get stronger year after year, even well into their 80s and 90s. It's not about chasing youth, it's about giving your body precisely what it needs at its stage. Whenever I share this approach, I hear the same objections repeatedly. If you've been thinking any of these, you're not alone. And they're all solvable. I'm not seeing results after 2 weeks. Muscle growth in older adults runs on a different timeline. While a 25-year-old might notice visible changes in 2-3 weeks, those over 70 often need 6 to 8 weeks before muscle size noticeably improves. The encouraging part? Strength improvements usually show up within 10 days. Think of strength gains as the first signal that muscle growth is on the way. I feel bloated from all this protein. Start gradually. Increase your daily protein intake by about 20 grams weekly instead of jumping all at once. Include fermented proteins like Greek yogurt or kefir, which are easier to digest. If you choose plant proteins, remember that your gut bacteria will adapt within a couple of weeks. Gas or bloating in the beginning is regular and temporary. It's too expensive to eat this way. This plan costs less than most people think, often under $8 daily. Budget-friendly power proteins include lentils, eggs, as a complement, not the primary source, cottage cheese, and canned wild salmon. Hemp seeds seem pricey, but a small bag can last weeks because you only need a few tablespoons daily. I just can't eat that much food. That's where nutrient density comes in. Focus on high protein, high leucine foods in smaller volumes. Smoothies and protein shakes are easy to add 20-30 grams without feeling overly full. Eat your protein at every meal when your appetite is strongest, and let smaller portions of carbs and fats fill in afterward. I'm worried about cholesterol or kidney strain. For most healthy older adults, higher protein intake doesn't harm kidney function, according to NIH and Mayo Clinic research. If you have existing kidney disease, talk with your doctor about a personalized protein plan. As for cholesterol, many protein sources like salmon, hemp seeds, and Greek yogurt improve lipid profiles when part of a balanced diet. In short, there's a workaround for every challenge. The key is making adjustments that fit your health, budget, and lifestyle. Consistency turns these strategies from theory into life-changing results. Nutrition is the foundation, but movement is the spark that brings it to life. Without resistance training, even the best protein strategy is like planting seeds in dry soil. The potential is there, but nothing grows. The good news? You don't need a gym membership or heavy barbells to see results. The minimum effective dose. 2 weekly resistance sessions target major muscle groups: legs, back, chest, and core. This can be done with resistance bands, light dumbbells, or bodyweight exercises like squats, wall push-ups, and seated leg lifts. Just 15-20 minutes per session can trigger elevated muscle protein synthesis for up to 48 hours afterward. Daily movement counts. Walking, gardening, climbing stairs, or even housework keeps blood flowing to your muscles, delivering the amino acids they need for repair. If you've been sedentary, start small. Chair-based exercises like seated marches, arm raises, and resistance band pulls can increase strength without straining joints. Studies show that bed-bound patients can gain muscle when combining strategic protein intake with minimal resistance exercises. Post-exercise nutrition. After activity, your muscles are 50% more receptive to protein for about 2 hours. This is your golden window. During this time, a serving of whey protein, Greek yogurt, or another fast-digesting source can significantly amplify results. Pair it with an anti-inflammatory food, berries, walnuts, or a sprinkle of cinnamon, to protect muscle tissue from oxidative stress. Why movement matters more. With age. As you age, circulation slows, hormones shift, and nerve-muscle connections weaken. Exercise counteracts all three. Movement increases blood flow, helping nutrients reach muscle fibers. It also boosts insulin sensitivity, which means the protein you eat is more likely to go toward building muscle instead of being stored as fat. For my 92-year-old patient, adding just 2 short resistance sessions a week transformed her progress. She didn't lift heavy weights. She used a simple set of resistance bands and her body weight. But the combination of targeted movement and strategic protein timing gave her muscles the signal they needed to respond, even at an age when most people believe growth is impossible. Every day you delay, your muscles quietly shrink, and the loss is permanent unless you act. After age 70, losing about 1% of muscle mass each month is common. That's 12% in a year. And in just 5 years, it can mean the difference between living independently and needing help for basic daily tasks. But here's the truth most people don't hear. This decline is not inevitable. Your muscles don't know your age. They only respond to the signals you give them. Feed them the right proteins. Time your meals strategically. Move them regularly, and they will respond at 60, 80, or even 90. I've repeatedly seen it in my patients, including the 92-year-old woman whose story started this conversation. She began with one small change, adding whey protein to her morning routine, and built from there. 6 months later, she wasn't just stronger. She had better balance, more energy, less stiffness, and a renewed confidence in her body. This transformation isn't about vanity. It's about freedom. The freedom to walk without assistance, climb stairs, play with grandchildren, travel, and live without fear of falling or injury. Muscle is your body's armor against frailty, and it's never too late to strengthen that armor. So here's my challenge to you. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect time, and don't let the voice in your head say, "I'm too old." You are not too old. Start with one meal, maybe a whey protein shake after your morning walk, or a cup of cottage cheese before bed. Then add another habit next week. Your strongest years can still be ahead of you, but they won't happen by accident. They happen by choice. And that choice begins today, with the very next meal you eat. If this video has given you hope, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And if you want more practical, science-backed strategies to stay strong and independent for life, hit the subscribe button, because your journey is just beginning.